This podcast is supported by Midi Health. Are you in midlife, feeling dismissed, unheard, or just plain tired of the old healthcare system? You're not alone. For too long, women's serious midlife health issues have been trivialized, ignored, and met with a just deal with it attitude. Many of us have been made to feel ashamed or forgotten. In fact, even today, 75% of women seeking care for menopause and perimenopause issues are left entirely untreated. But here's the powerful truth. It's time for a change. It's time for Midi. Midi is not just a healthcare provider. It's a women's telehealth clinic, founded and supported by world-class leaders in women's health. What sets Midi apart? We are the only women's telehealth brand covered by major insurance companies, making high-quality expert care accessible and affordable. Our clinicians provide one-on-one, face-to-face consultations where they truly listen to your unique needs. We offer a full range of holistic, data-driven solutions, from hormonal therapies and weight loss protocols to lifestyle coaching and preventative health guidance. This isn't one-size-fits-all care. This is care uniquely tailored for you. At Midi, you will join our patients who feel seen, heard, and prioritized. You will find that our mission is clear: to help all women thrive in midlife, giving them access to the health care they deserve. Because we believe midlife isn't the middle at all. It is the beginning of your second act. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Visit joinmidi.com today to book your personalized insurance-covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. Midi, the care women deserve.
Welcome back to Still a Part of Us. We had just an amazing discussion with April, and and about her sweet son Crew. I just like how beautiful that was and how hard it was to go through all of that. So, April, thank you again for coming back on, telling his story, and then giving us a little bit of advice.
Yeah, of course. So happy to. Thank you.
I wanted to just get everybody caught up. So, can you tell us what happened to Crew and how long ago was he born?
Sure. So he was born in September of 2016. So this fall, it will be 10 years since he was born. And he was born with a congenital heart defect called hypoplastic left heart syndrome. And he lived for 2 weeks with us, and we were able to bring him home and make memories with him. And he died on October 12th, the same year, 2016.
Yeah, and it is so tender, you guys. It is such a beautiful story and some amazing advice there too. So I'm like excited for this conversation too that we're going to
Thank
have.
you.
So April, I know that you kind of mentioned a little bit of that very acute time of grief after he passed away. There was
Mhm.
like such an influx of people showing up, uh, meals and like a lot of support at that early time. Is that how are you feeling with all of that support and love in those first couple of months? Because I those are the hardest. I feel like those first few months are just rough.
So in the first couple months, we had a ton of support from immediate family and extended family and neighbors and friends. So many people reaching out and bringing things and stopping by and checking in on us, and we felt a lot of love and support. That
Yeah.
was really helpful.
That and were there I mean, I'm assuming it was like meals and
Yeah,
cards and other things that people showed up with.
yeah, yeah. Tons of meals and cards and treats and homemade bread. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the other things that people did for us. I had one friend come and offer for me to hold her baby, and
How did
that
you feel
wasn't.
about that?
You know what? It's funny because I know a friend that lost a child, also a baby, and she actually lost two babies. And she said with her first one, she didn't want to be around any
Yeah.
infants,
Yeah.
but her second one, she just wanted to hold all the babies.
Okay.
So it was so interesting how the same person had a different experience. For me, I did not want to be around babies
Yeah.
that first probably year or so, maybe more than that. Now totally fine. I've
Yeah.
since had 2 more kids and stuff, and it's not, a sensitive thing for me, I guess, anymore. But it was at first. It was hard to be around babies.
Me too. I was just
Yeah. Okay.
don't ask me to go to, I mean, it was
Yeah.
interesting. There was a lot of people that were having babies at that same time.
Yes.
And so I got invited to a lot of baby showers still.
Aw.
But you know what? I was always like, I can't come. I'm going to
Yeah.
send a gift. We're going to send a gift, but I
Yes.
cannot come. I just can't.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
it was just not going to happen for me.
You have to protect your heart too.
Yeah.
I remember being in like a store and I'd hear a baby cry and it would like,
Yeah.
I'd have to like leave the store, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It really, those things can be a little bit
Yeah.
triggering because you're like, my
Yes.
baby is not here.
Yes.
And it's not like you're
totally.
not happy
For
those
sure.
other people. You're
For
like,
sure.
I am so happy that you're going to
Yes.
have a baby and that baby's going to be
Totally.
living, but I'm like really sad for myself.
Totally. And I think it's important to have both those. I think it's okay to have both the feelings, but I think one piece of advice my brother gave me was to always have a sliver of gratitude, even at the very beginning. And, as he kind of described it as like a pie, like make sure a piece of your pie, you have a little sliver of gratitude, even if it's like, I'm thankful that, the sun is out today, or, like sometimes it's hard to find anything to be grateful for. But I think that could be like, I'm so grateful they get to enjoy their baby, but I can still feel sad, you know? And then he explained it that like, as you get further out from the like actual event and as you heal, that gratitude piece can kind of grow and get bigger, a bigger part of the pie. So that was helpful for me to remember.
Yeah. Just, looking for the something, the one thing.
Yeah, just, it can be a tiny little thing, but it helps. It really does help.
Yeah, considerably. In your last episode that we talked about Crew, I just remember you saying, I don't want to be on display to weep, like I want to be able to cry in public, like not in public. I would like to be at home crying in my own home.
Yes. Yes.
And I would say I bet a lot of people are very similar in that feeling. But did you feel like you were able to do that?
Yeah. I did feel like that. I mean, because there's a lot of, people that come and visit and show up and stuff, but a lot of your time is alone or in your home, So I did feel like I had time to do that,
Yeah. That's always
to kind of, just to kind of share the parts of my grief that I felt comfortable sharing maybe with people. And then other parts I just wanted to keep private between me and my husband.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's tricky. Yeah.
It is tricky. I know.
Yeah. I know. I was thinking about it. I was like, I remember wanting just to be at home and like under a big blanket.
Yes. Right. Underneath, hiding.
Yep.
From the world.
I don't want to go anywhere. And then when Lee would go to the store or something, I was like, wait, where are you going?
Wait, don't leave me.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember feeling like that too. Like, your spouse, like big support. And yeah.
Okay. And then I am curious how you've talked about how you and your husband are very like just kind of a little different in personality wise. So how were you supporting him? How was he supporting you? Sounded like he was a doer and he was doing all the things. So
yes.
But tell me about the differences in grief that you guys experienced, maybe even acutely, and then like as time has gone on.
Okay. I would say that at the beginning, definitely, which I don't know, maybe you have better insight than me on this because you've talked to so many families, but it seems like maybe the man is more private usually, and the woman is more like needing the social support system. I feel like it was kind of opposite for us. In that I just, like we said, I just kind of wanted to be alone at home.
Yeah.
You know? And if people wanted to ask me about him or, really get into it, I was really open with that.
Yeah.
But, I'm fine talking about him. I was fine, explaining the situation or what happened, but just where I felt safe, I guess, maybe. And my husband was more, I don't know, maybe I was more of a roller coaster. He was like, he was more kind of
the
even,
steady.
yeah, pretty steady, I would say. Like he was pretty steady. He's very practical. He processes things, I don't know, like naturally in a healthy way, I feel like.
Oh, okay.
maybe that stems back from childhood things, I don't know. I feel like it always goes back to that, right?
Yeah.
And what we've experienced in our childhoods and things like that. But I feel like and that's just his personality too. He's very steady and just more grounded than me, I guess.
So do you think that he needed more people around him? Do you think he was more outward in that?
Yes, I do feel like that.
Okay.
But he's also he's kind of a chameleon. Like when you talk about introvert, extrovert, like he kind of just goes along with what
needs
is
to happen. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like he's not, I don't know how to describe it, but he's just not one extreme or the other, I guess.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So, and I'm much more introverted where I just like to be, I like to be with small groups of people and talking to people. And I think everybody needs that. But then I have to like recover.
Yes. Totally. You're like, I need to recharge my battery because it is depleted.
Yes. And not that people are, like, it's not people that are the problem. It's just like, it just takes a lot of energy from me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So
totally. I need recharge days too because I'm like, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
To deal with everybody.
Yeah. And I feel like even now, so this far out, you asked how we grieve differently.
Yeah.
I would say we're pretty similar now in that just every once in a while, it'll like sting really badly.
Oh.
And we'll kind of have like a day where something hits us, and it'll just bring up these emotions and we'll share with the other person, like, oh, today was so hard. And like my son, when he wrote my son wrote a poem about crew a couple weeks ago for an English assignment, and it like tore my husband up.
Oh, I'm sure.
He came home and he was sobbing. He was like, I just read his poem and he's like, I had no idea how much that affected him.
Yeah.
10 years ago, and he's 10 years later, like still processing. And I don't know, I think it was shocking to him to realize that, I guess,
Yeah.
But
well, and it probably brought up all the things because I'm like reading it and I'm like, I feel like I was there just watching what was happening. And from that child's eyes, I just am like,
I know a little 7-year-old.
I know
how much he was like taking in,
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that is that. Yeah. I feel like as it's been 8 years almost for us. And so it feels like not that it's not there anymore. It just feels like our capacity, our strength, or something has gotten bigger. Like you said, maybe that the piece of the pie has just gotten bigger. Like
yes. How old were your other kids then?
So Lucy, she was only like 3.5, and so she remembers him. We let him. We let her meet him and everything, and so she was really sad to that.
She remembers.
Yes,
wow.
and so she talks about him a lot. We talk about it. I mean, like it's a pretty common thing for us to talk about him. So
yeah, totally. We do too. Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, you're just part of the family. So
yeah, totally.
And then of course Felix wasn't born quite yet, and so
that was the 5-year-old.
He's the 5-year-old, the crazy one.
I got a few of those.
Yeah, exactly. They're fun.
Actually, this is a funny story. My 5-year-old, he had a little. He was star of the week for preschool a couple weeks ago, and my daughter, who's 11, so it sounds like our kids are similar ages.
Exactly.
She was helping him with his poster, and so we were trying to print out a picture of our family, and I always put a picture of crew on there.
Yeah,
and my son wanted to draw the people in our family instead of a picture. And I was like, that's great,
Yeah.
And so he drew or maybe she helped him draw the characters and all the family or whatever. And then my daughter, she included this little tiny baby wrapped in a white blanket in heaven.
In
And
heaven.
he had a little halo. And it just says underneath it, I thought this was so funny. It said crew, and then in parentheses, it said dead. I was like,
Yes.
I mean, it's true.
Yes. Death.
For someone who hasn't experienced it, it was probably like, oh my.
Yeah.
Very, like, I don't know. But I thought it was just so cute and so funny that
Yeah.
like she wanted to include him, but
he's part of
dead.
the picture. Yeah. Just want to make sure everybody knows.
And I like talked to the preschool teacher. I was like, I didn't know if I should like warn you or whatever. But luckily she was like, she thought it was so cute and so funny, I was like, okay, good.
That's the family.
I don't know how people take that, like.
Yep. So fun. Okay. That's awesome. So, let's talk a little bit about your kids. And I mean, obviously we've talked about your oldest son who was 7 going on 8 that year. And then you had, your daughter, right?
And I had another son. Yeah.
And then another son underneath. Okay. So, and they were just little. Those two were
they were
pretty little. So
my oldest was 7. And then I had my oldest son is Carver and he was 7. And then Blaze was 4.
Okay.
And then my daughter Maisie was 2 when he was born.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of so those 3 know him.
Yeah.
Kind of, right?
Yeah.
And then you have a couple kids after.
I had 2 boys after Crew.
Okay. So how have you talked, I guess you guys talk about Crew.
All the time.
But how did you help your kids kind of maybe navigate after the 3 that you had that were still living? How did you I know that you mentioned the angel group. Oh, I'm gonna
Angel Watch.
Angel Watch, yes.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they've helped with kind of processing that.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah. How did I help them?
Just kind of
his death?
And process all that had happened.
I mean, I am not an expert, but we just tried to talk about him. And I also was given advice to make sure you use the word death, which just so they know, it's not like, oh, he went to
he passed away.
He passed away. That's confusing for little kids.
It is.
And so to say he died, he's not coming back, at least not in this life,
Yeah.
And just to help them, I mean, it sounds so harsh and I don't know, but I think it's important for them. I don't know. I just think it's important for them to work through those hard feelings too.
Yeah. And also kind of a reality of what actually happened.
Yeah. And as sad as it is and everything, I just think it's so important for kids to feel those things.
Yes.
As hard as it is, I feel like it strengthens their character.
Yeah.
And it makes them more compassionate. Like my oldest Carver, I feel like it's made him more compassionate towards other people. Actually, this is, I should send you this picture, but my sister actually lost a baby maybe 4 years after I did from SIDS.
Oh.
And he was 2 months old. And I have this picture, oh my gosh, of Carver. So Carver would have been, 12 or something at the time. And we had just heard the news and rushed to the hospital in Provo to meet her. And oh my gosh, it's actually tomorrow, I think, is his angelversary. So it was 5 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I told her she needs to talk to you and come be on the show.
We would love that.
But we went to the hospital and I have the sweetest picture of my sister sitting on the ground in the hospital, just devastated,
Yeah.
And my son Carver has his arm around her and is laying on her shoulder and just sitting with her, This is maybe 30 minutes after it happened. It was like
Oh my gosh.
in real time, happening, and I'm like, I don't know that any other 12-year-old could
No.
do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
to just be like, I know how it feels, and I just think that's such a gift that out of the darkness and hardship, like that's one positive thing that comes from it is the compassion and the empathy,
Oh yeah.
and so I think it's in the long run it's a blessing. I
Yeah.
feel like I don't know that I would wish for it to
No.
happen. If
No.
I could choose to have crew here, I would. I
Yeah.
mean, even just yesterday, my two little boys who are 6 and 5, they were out sledding down the hill,
Oh yeah.
because we
We
got
got a lot of yeah,
snow
we got a ton of
yesterday,
snow.
finally. And they're sledding down the hill in our backyard. And I just was like, oh, my crew should be here. Like
Yeah.
I should have 3 little boys.
Yeah.
I should have an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 5-year-old
Yep.
sledding together outside,
Yeah.
so you don't wish that it would happen, but it did.
Yeah.
So we get to choose how
Yeah.
we deal with it,
I totally agree.
So,
Because I feel like
yeah.
sometimes people are like, they don't want to say like, "Oh, I'm glad I learned this lesson," because it feels like they had to die for you to learn the lesson.
Yeah.
And that doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel great because
Yeah,
you were like, "I
right.
want my child to be here for sure,"
Totally.
right?
Totally. If I could choose,
Yes,
th-
and
of
and,
course I would.
and
Yeah,
but then also okay because you just have changed. You're a different person,
totally.
and
Totally.
Carver is a different person, and because
Yeah.
of that experience, he is like you said, more compassionate, more
Hmm.
like he understands a little bit differently than other kids his age, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Wow. Like that's really really cool to think
Hmm.
about. So,
Hmm.
um, okay, and then I am curious. What are some things that people did and have said over the years that has been helpful? Like, just coming as somebody that's experienced because yours is also very unique because he was
Hmm.
alive for 2 weeks and
Yeah. Yeah.
with you guys, and
Hmm.
so I'm curious if there's anything that was really helpful in that situation, um, like that you appreciated people saying and or doing that helped you.
I feel like back then, I felt I feel like grief is so hard because I feel like you're kind of darned if you do and you're darned if you don't. It's
Yep.
like because you hear some people say, "Oh, don't ever say
Yeah.
this list of things," and then you hear the same phrase,
From
and
yep.
other people say,
I
"I like
appreciate
when
it.
people
Hmm.
said this,"
Yeah.
or so it's like,
Yep. It is.
what do we do? you
Yes.
know
It's tricky.
So kind of what I've decided in my own, like
Wait.
as someone like who is like if I'm watching somebody go through something hard, kind of what I've resolved to do in my mind from my experience is just to do something,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
And if it's like you say the wrong thing or you do the wrong thing, you just like hope and pray that they realize you're just trying to do something,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
And so I feel like this might sound a little harsh because I know when we're going through the grief, especially at the beginning, like we're so fragile
Hmm.
and like our hearts are so tender. And so I think definitely the people from the outside looking in, like they should definitely, be aware of that and do be sensitive to the situations and things like that. But I do remember thinking this um, right at the beginning, and I'm really grateful because it's helped me as the griever to be compassionate towards those trying to help me.
Yes. Hmm.
Is like, I remember very distinctly at the very beginning thinking, I was just you like 6 months
Yeah.
ago, where I didn't know what to say to someone in my shoes.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do to someone in
Yes.
my shoes. And so that helped me not be so sensitive
Yeah.
to maybe someone who speaks, or,
Yeah.
maybe like when the lady brought her baby over and was like, I can, I was like, "Ugh, I don't want to touch your baby."
Yes.
But I was grateful for her, even
Just
like how vulnerable for her
yes.
to be like, I don't know if this is going to help her, but I'm going to just
I'm just going
offer.
to offer it. Yes.
Yeah. And so as like, I did not want to touch or look at her baby, even still, when I see her daughter,
Uh-huh.
it's still a little bit sensitive for me because they go
Oh.
to the same school as my kids. But it doesn't like, tear me apart the whole day, but it
No.
is, you just feel that little like
Little.
twinge, like, oh,
Mhm.
they're the same exact age,
Yeah.
And so you feel a little bit of that like twinge in your heart, just like the longing kind of,
Yeah.
But I'm still grateful for that lady who offered,
Yes.
because it wasn't the right thing for me,
Right.
but I was grateful for her effort.
Yeah. And you
Do
know
you know
what?
what I mean?
And it would have been maybe the right thing for somebody else too.
Totally.
And
Totally.
um,
Yes.
you know,
Totally.
and one thing I like Lee and I talk about this a lot because we always joke that we're like, "Oh, don't say that." I mean, like,
I know.
we do
Yes.
we do
Yes.
this a lot actually.
Yes.
But but when all is said and done, people are well meaning.
Intentioned.
They're well
Yes.
intentioned and they
Yes.
really are just
Yes.
struggling because I'm like, yes, I remember saying the exact same stuff that I said before our loss to other
Yes.
people. And I'm like,
Totally.
I am a
Yes.
jerk.
Yeah. Yeah. How dare I?
I know. I'm
Why
like,
did I
what
say
was
that?
I
I know.
thinking?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's another one of those things that you're like, I'm really grateful for this experience because it teaches you
Oh,
how to help the
just,
griever,
yeah.
or maybe read the situation a little better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't always know what's going on in their head, but I mean, even just saying like this, I'm trying to think. I was going to tell a story about what someone did for me. Anyway, I can't remember, but yeah, I think it just helps you to be more aware, kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, the at least statements aren't helpful,
No,
at
they're,
least
yeah.
at least he came home with you, at
Yeah.
least he whatever. And believe me, I'm grateful for that,
Totally.
I am so grateful for that, but not the right thing to say to
Yeah.
someone who's grieving, in my opinion, but
Yeah.
maybe that helps somebody else. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
That seems like a consistent one where they
yeah,
say
yeah.
at least. The at least
Don't
ones are
say,
real tricky.
well, because I think it minimizes
Yes.
their pain,
Yeah.
right? It's just saying like, you shouldn't be that sad
Yeah.
because you had him for 2
Yes.
weeks.
Yep.
So you shouldn't be that sad,
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, but I do feel sad. Like
Yeah.
I wanted him longer,
Yeah. And you're like, I'm grateful that I got him for 2 weeks. And I
Totally.
really am so sad because he's not here
And
anymore.
I miss him.
Yeah.
And I wanted him for his whole life,
Yes.
like
Would have
for a
loved
long
that.
life,
Yeah.
So yeah. So it is kind of a tricky thing to navigate, but just doing something,
Yes.
I feel like usually is received well,
Yeah.
even maybe not at the moment, but later. Often I feel like the griever can look back and be like, wow, there was so many people that,
Just wanted to.
just wanted to help and they didn't know how.
Yeah.
It's a hard situation, so I don't know.
It is a hard situation. And so I would say the people that are trying to support somebody through this, do the best you can, but do something like,
Yeah, do
and
something. Yeah.
and kind of like you've kind of alluded to this, but a lot of times people, the other thing that I've found that people kind of complain about is the people that don't say anything
Yeah.
about what
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
happened
Yeah.
because it makes you feel like a weirdo and a pariah and like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
happening? Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
big just happened to me and you don't even acknowledge that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
a something. So
Totally.
yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah. It is tricky. It really is. But I feel like you said, like most people are well intentioned. So
Yeah. They're trying to
yeah,
do their best they can
totally. Totally.
with
And
the
if they
experience
say
they
the
have.
wrong thing, you're like, I'll just remember to not say that to
Yes, noted.
someone else.
In the future. Yes. I know
Yeah,
I really do have a list of things that I'm like,
I do too.
that
I do
really
too.
stuck me, really not in a nice place. So
Totally. Totally. Oh, I feel that so
yeah.
much because my daughter, when she had cancer,
Oh yes.
same thing. So many people, not so
Oh
many. That's not fair to say. I had some people say some really strange things. You're just like,
Okay.
thank you for that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, we probably will leave that one in because it is so interesting because people really do want to try and find a solution for
Totally.
things that are hard. And
Yes. Which you can look at it that way too. Like she's just trying to help, like heal her, which yes, that is the goal, like obviously,
Yes. Okay. I do want to talk about your daughter actually.
Okay.
Because you told me this yesterday. I was like, excuse me? What? So, Crew was born and he passed away a couple weeks later. So you're grieving that. And that's so hard. And it's so hard in those first few months. And then how long after that did you find out your daughter had leukemia?
It was 4 months later.
4 months later, everybody.
Yeah. So he died in October and she was diagnosed February 23rd.
Oh my goodness.
2017. So just a few months later.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I know.
And so how were you guys kind of, a part of me would be like, God, this is not awesome.
I had some discussions with him.
Yeah.
I was a little bit mad, but I realized he can handle my anger. He's probably just tapping me on the head like, it's okay, you can be mad, like.
I love that. Like God can handle our anger.
He totally can,
He can. Yeah. He can handle all of it.
For sure.
Oh.
Yeah. He understands why we're mad,
Yeah. I was gonna okay, so how was I was gonna say, what was your grief kind of put off to the back burner?
Yes. Yes. That's exactly how I would describe it.
Really? Okay.
I didn't forget.
No.
But you only have so much energy.
Yeah.
And all of my energy was going towards taking care of her. So I dealt with a little bit of guilt for that, but I was like, I was already like, I have to. I don't know.
Yeah. My daughter needs me.
Yeah. It took so much time. And, we were at the hospital, especially that first year, at least 3 times a week, sometimes overnight, sometimes that first stay was like 10 days. And then during the summer, we were in and out every other week, inpatient. Anyway, and then lots of unplanned inpatient stays whenever they get a fever or any sort of anything. They call you back in, they're like, okay, come in, So we'd head back up to primaries. And so definitely that first year, because her treatment was 2.5 years is the leukemia protocol for her type of leukemia. And she had chemo and radiation and because she had central nervous system involvement at diagnosis.
Yeah.
And so she had to have radiation along with the chemo, which was a bummer. But I would describe Crew's grief as kind of being put on the back burner for a while.
Yeah. And that's interesting that you mentioned the guilt, because I don't think people realize how much guilt there is. Like, you're just feeling bad about I'm not doing enough to remember him, and I'm
totally.
Totally.
But it also was special because I felt him with us. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I had someone, a really wise woman who had a similar experience to me 12 years earlier. I talked about her a little bit yesterday. She had said to me, I was actually surprised how much I didn't feel my son with me after.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so grateful she said that, because I haven't had a ton of experiences where I felt him with me.
Yeah.
But I definitely did
during those
a few times during treatment. Yeah, during my daughter's treatment, So that was special, to have a heavenly, being help us, I felt like, and comforting her and helping, and that was special. But I did feel like it was hard to, I don't know, I guess I just kind of put his grief to the side for a minute, or maybe I was just kind of grieving all of it together.
Yeah. I was going to say that all of it's so hard. And then just I don't want another child to die. I mean,
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That was my first thought.
Yeah. I was
it really was. I was like, I'm going to lose another child this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose 2 children in 1 year, So, I mean, she survived, everybody. She's
Yes.
11. She's doing great.
Yes, yes, which is
I'm
great.
so grateful.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
that's just interesting. When you told me that, I was like, "Well, that is really unique to have that just happen so quickly after
yeah,
and
it was
having to deal with
one of
that."
those things where you're just like, what is going on? You know,
Rude.
this is really rude.
I know.
So rude.
Yeah, I was floored when you told me that yesterday after we kind of stopped
Uh,
the recording. I was like, "What?"
I know. I know.
Oh, man.
Uh,
Okay, and then I wanted to ask you just kind of as we close, um, you're so you're 10 years out from that
hmm
that time that crew was here on the earth, and
hmm
I am wondering if you have any words for those folks that maybe just in the thick of it right now, like maybe just having that early on grief, and they just are really struggling to see how it's all gonna be okay.
Yeah, that is, it's so hard when you're right in the thick of it, you know? And I hate to say, like, it'll get better because you're like, but it's not right now.
Yeah, really
You
terrible.
know, it's
Yeah.
really terrible. I remember another friend who had lost a baby, a stillborn baby. She lived in my neighborhood at the time and was a huge support to me during that time because she understood, you know, what I
Yeah.
was going through. And I remember asking her,
Yeah.
like, when did you start to feel better? And she said, 7 years later. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, I have to wait for 7 years. Remember, I was thinking grief was going to be,
Yes, very
you know,
compartmentalized,
this
yes.
much time and then I'll feel better, you know? And I wanted to know how long.
Yeah,
And when she said 7 years, I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Like, that is eternity,
it
you
is
know?
long
So
time.
that's hard when you're like right in the middle of it to think like, okay, 10 years down the road, I'm going to feel better. But how do you get there, you know?
Yeah,
And at the same time, I feel like it does give you a little bit of hope
yeah,
when you're in the thick of it to see people that are like, you know, have had, and I'm not saying that's like the only way to heal or the best way to heal is to have more babies. That was very healing for me.
mhm, mhm.
But I know some people choose to not because it's too painful and it's not help, you know, it wouldn't
Yeah,
be helpful. So I can see both ways, you know. For me, that was really helpful in healing. For my kids, it was helpful in
yeah.
healing. In fact, my little rainbow baby, so my number 5
Uh-huh.
after crew, we named him Bowen because
Oh,
he was our rainbow.
yeah, that's so cute.
So Bowen Crew is his name.
Oh,
uh,
adorable.
so that was helpful for me. I would in no way like tell people like, okay, so just have a baby and
Yeah,
it'll help everything. That that was kind of a natural, I don't know. Like, we obviously, you know, thought about it, considered different options and stuff, but that was helpful for us.
yeah,
And to see people further out that were living their lives and able to kind of carry that heaviness with a little bit, you know, like, I feel like your back does get stronger
yeah, it
and
does.
you know, and for me, faith is a huge part of it. I feel like God is who really helped me
Yeah,
with a lot of my grief. And I feel like through others, because of God, he helped me heal. And I don't know, it's just like little piece by piece,
yeah,
day by day, which that is also hard to hear when you're in the beginning
yeah,
because the days are so long
mhm,
and you're like 7 years of
yeah,
like day by day, like, you know. But really, I guess just the gratitude thing too is huge, I
yeah,
feel like, because it gives you something positive to focus on,
yeah,
even for just a minute in the day. Just like, I'm grateful for, you know, whatever it is, you know, like my bed,
yeah,
my
yeah,
husband, my mom, my whatever it is, nature, you know, even if you're not like a religious person, I feel like gratitude
is
is
yes,
so helpful and so healing.
yes,
And it helps you to focus on something good, you know, so your heart, I feel like, can take a break from hurting maybe.
yeah.
I don't know why it's so healing, but it is.
It totally
You
is. I
know?
mean, just I feel like it gives you a little bit more of an outward look than
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
kind of focusing in on what's happening to you and what's wrong with the situation
Yes.
and so
Yes.
yeah. I
Yes. That
I
is a good advice too. Like
just
looking outward
yeah.
and maybe like, I'm not saying like to tackle all the service
Oh,
projects,
no.
but just even like, oh, I'm going to smile at that person today,
Yep.
or, something tiny and doable. Maybe that's not doable
Yeah.
at the beginning, even, like when it's so heavy and so thick, but looking outward helps a lot
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And I remember when my daughter was going through cancer treatment, and I remember like every day coming home from the hospital, I would feel so grateful because I would try and connect with other moms there.
Yeah.
And it seemed like I don't believe we should like compare grief stories or
Yeah.
anything.
Mhm.
But that being said, in talking to them, I was always like, oh my goodness, like your situation is so much worse than
I know.
mine.
Yes.
You
And
know,
then you can be grateful for you're like, "Okay, we'll
yes,
deal with
you're like,
this."
yes, yes. And I just was like, um, I don't know how to describe it. Not in like I mean, you do feel bad for them.
Yeah.
It hopefully in a positive, empathetic, not positive, but like in an empathetic way where you're
Yes.
just like, oh, I just like wish the best for them and
Right.
hope they can make it through and, whatever. But it also just kind of makes you, I don't know, perspective maybe,
Mhm.
like gives
Mhm.
you a
Yeah.
greater perspective.
Yeah.
I just remember being like, there were moms that had to bring their infants there because they
Oh,
didn't have, when their other child was getting treatment. Or I remember like running into moms whose kid had just relapsed and they just found out, or ones that had to travel from Wyoming. So they're like having to move their family to Salt Lake
oh,
it was like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
like this is so sad.
yeah,
And I also remember someone telling me one time, like, if you were to put all the trials, like get a group of people and everybody like puts their trials on a table,
mhm.
like I feel like everybody would just
Just take
grab
their
their
own.
own.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I'll just keep mine right
yeah. I
here.
don't want those ones. Thank you very
No,
much.
that's way too
We're
hard.
good.
Yeah, yeah. And it's
Yeah,
like it kind of makes
perspective.
you, yeah, perspective maybe, and like, okay, I don't know. For those that are in the thick of it, like you're doing it. Like,
Yes.
because people would say, I'm sure they've said this to you, like, how did you do it? How did you how did you
Yeah,
survive after, but you're doing it.
yeah,
Like you're doing it
yep,
because you're here, you're
yep,
surviving,
yep.
you're
Getting
you're
up
thriving,
and yeah,
even if you're in bed all day, like you're doing it.
yeah,
You're still
yeah,
doing the grief work, you
yeah,
know? Sometimes that's part of it is,
yeah,
you know, just feeling and sitting in it. And sometimes it's getting up and taking a shower
yeah.
and then going back to
Yes,
bed.
and that's fine, and
It's
that's
totally
yeah.
fine. No
There's a
guilt.
there's,
No guilt. Be
there's
kind
a
to yourself.
it's so be kind to yourself because I mean, there's like a season for all of these there's a
Yes.
season for everything, and that
Yes.
includes resting and
Totally.
introvertedness and not getting out
Yes.
of your bed because
Yes. That's important for healing too.
yeah, you just
Is sometimes just retreating kind of, and
yeah,
and not always, the angel watch people, another thing they told me was like self-awareness, and it's okay to go play in the sad sandbox every once in a
yeah,
while,
yeah,
but don't stay there.
yeah,
Like go play in the sad sandbox, and then you got to get out for a minute,
yeah,
even if it's just for a minute, like the gratitude thing we were saying,
yep,
or
just a
or
little
going do something for someone, or you know and not I don't want that to be overwhelming because sometimes you're just like, I can't even, like, I don't know, sometimes that seems overwhelming, but
yeah. It's okay to be where you're at. You're like you said,
exactly.
you're in the thick of
Yes.
it, and being in the thick of it is
Yes.
part of it
Yep. Yep.
all.
It is. That is part of it. The thick
Yeah,
of it is part of it. And you're doing it.
yeah,
You are doing it.
yeah.
So good job.
Yeah, good job, you. Oh, April, this has been such a wonderful conversation. And
Yeah. That sounds great.
okay, amazing. Thank you again so much for coming on.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.